Guys, the end of Bitcoin is almost certainly coming soon. We've been telling you about this for years. A lot of people think it's just hype, but I really, really believe that Bitcoin will crash one day before it's probably brought back to life, okay? And I think that will be the last chance to buy Bitcoin because the price will go down. By the way, the charts prove it, okay? That's why I'm not lying. Right now, these kinds of things are happening that might lead to that day from the financial lot. Coinbase's Connor Grogan's thinks that a wallet with 8 billion Bitcoin has been hacked. This will be the biggest Bitcoin theft ever if it turns out to be true. There's now a thought that this might have been a hack all along. Okay, it's funny that I could prove that this wasn't a hacker attack, right? Where did Arthur Brittle tweet this? He follows Roger Ver, by the way. Okay, so maybe it's not, but if it was, that would be crazy because an AI can only be charged with a crime if it did something on purpose that was against the law and with the desire to do harm. Hey guys, this is evil. In other words, during a breakdown, if no one wants to take the blame, they could just use AI to bring everything down. Take a look at that. Doesn't that sound like a crazy idea? But no country or organization will be responsible for the fall. AI might do it instead. You should think about it, right? Would it be possible for us to build on this idea in some way? What makes me so crazy now? This proves to me that the person who set up this wallet knows everything there is to know about cryptocurrency. Yes, not only does he have $1 billion in his hands, but he also sends it all out with just one click and no test trade. That takes a lot of skill. Okay, in other words, these coins were moved to different wallets 100% of the time. They didn't even try sending a Bitcoin because, guys, it's always better to be safe than sorry. That's what you learn first when you start learning about crypto. You should always send a test transaction to make sure everything works. To put it simply, you send a small amount of your cryptocurrency to the wallet you want to send it to. If it goes through, you know it worked and send the rest. I used to always do a test trade first though, and then I sent money in chunks, right? Unless I'm feeling lazy, I don't send everything in one exchange. That's how I used to be, I guess. But, you know, it's safer to be safe. But this person who sent all of his Bitcoins to different banks or addresses didn't care at all. He did it all at once. Guys, that's how you know there's more to it, right? He's the store. It's clear that he knows what he's doing. Okay, fine. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about why this is so big. We are now beginning to see certain stories from Cointelegraph Insight come to life. By breaking old secret keys, quantum computers could bring back a lost Bitcoin. Now they're saying, hey, maybe quantum computers are going to kill Bitcoin. After that, we'll talk about the charts, which are what the story is all about. Okay, this is how it will fall apart at some point. I have the proof right here. How do we begin? What is a quantum computer? Surprisingly, quantum technology has been around since the early 1000s. 900S quantum computers could pose a threat to Bitcoin's cryptographic systems, such as the elliptic curve digital signature methods. Some experts like Adam Back and Michael Saylor say that quantum threats to Bitcoin aren't a problem right now because they need very complex quantum gear that could take years or even decades to make. However, everyone thinks that. What if there was a black swan event that went along with this kind of story, guys? Hacking into old Bitcoin addresses and wallets and bringing those coins back to life. The person who did it used this kind of technology to get in. What is he going to do with those coins? Offer it for sale? If it was just one person, though, the government would go after him unless it's another government that does it soon and brings it down. Because you guys understand what I mean? Okay, that's kind of cool. Do you know why this is strange? Because we all know that cyber attacks are going to happen soon, guys. That'll bring it all down. I wonder if these other stories have anything to do with that equation. I believe it. Okay. In other words, work on quantum computers is moving quickly forward. But is Bitcoin quantum safe right now? Not yet. But engineers are trying to improve the network to protect it from quantum risks, such as the ability to break encryption, so it could mess up the network and maybe even break Bitcoin wallets by taking advantage of holes in the asymmetric cryptography that keeps them safe. So guys, as quantum computers get better, the risk gets bigger. In other words, this is a real problem. But again, there's a reason black swans are called black swans, guys, okay? So can quantum computers get back Bitcoin that was lost? What happens to Bitcoins that are lost? Quantum recovery technologies let walls that have been asleep wake up. Just think about Satoshi Nakamoto's coins. There are thought to be 1 million of them. That's crazy. Just send me about a quarter of that. Big changes in the market could happen if a quantum computer breaks into their wallets and gets the coins out into the world. DAO. Okay, those who believe in Bitcoin would have to pray and hope to the crypto gods that this doesn't happen. Will it? Doesn't it? I'm not sure. The numbers, on the other hand, tell me something different. There may be a scary, evil, or supernatural story going on here because this chart draws a picture that most people won't see or understand until it's way too late. But Extravit is here to help you. Why? Let's talk about it. Here are Bitcoin's 3-month charts, folks. 3 charts for each month. 3 months are shown by each light. Okay, what do you guys see? Have you guys noticed something? Quick pause to see if you all know what I'm going to say. You should give yourself a pat on the back. But look at this. Have you guys seen that the price of Bitcoin is going up? Back in 2010, this is now. That's really strange because we see other things. Over time, this sign has been going down. This is for every 3 months. Since it was made, the output has also been going down. That seems a little odd, doesn't it? There's no rise in it. The signs keep telling us that it's getting less and less, but the price keeps going up. What is that? A bearish split since the beginning of time, people. This is the most evil warning sign I've seen so far that Bitcoin will fail. I know that no one else will care about this, but I will because I trust the numbers, the charts. Some people say that the charts show what's going on in the world. Also, this chart is Bitcoin again, right? This picture shows that this bearish divergence has been going on since the beginning of time. Also will have an impact on Bitcoin at some point, and when it does, it's like a triple negative divergence, right? About the 3-month time frame here. How about a 4th? Next time, maybe a 4th. It's up to when this will go into effect. However, it tells me that it will at least go this low. The very least, I think it's this low too. That's how much is that if it does come down? I forget it. I don't remember. That must be 3K, right? I think it will be less than 3K. I guess this is the case, right? Guys, maybe all the way back there at a K or a few $100s or even less, right? My thought here is that this bearish split from creation might happen. Also, don't forget that this is just for the charts, right? You guys can see what the news says, right? But if you guys think I'm lying, I don't know why my chart doesn't look as much like this one. In other words, it's a clear sign of selling. Do you see that? Take a look at this one too. Guys, take a look at this. Is that the RSI? I'm not sure. But once more, it's just negative divergences. Divergence that points down.